Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize I could do this. Um, my I tried to go live on my computer, and I had disabled my computer from somebody had turned around and tried to access my computer, and I got an alert code, and I got five different securities, and it said somebody's trying to access my camera, so I disabled it 9 years ago. Don't remember how I did it. So here I am. Okay, who am I? My name is Christopher McCart. Don't know me? Probably not surprising. Um, See, the thing is, not too many people do. I'm not somebody that everybody knows because I am just a presidential candidate that wants to work for you. Okay, and let me find the right thing here. Anyway, um, long time ago, I started this campaign. I started, but I don't have any money, so I'm running on my disability. Okay, you know, I smoke cigarettes, by the way. You wonder what I'm about to do? Light up. So let me tell you. I'd like to start with Kennedy's speech. In the decades of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance, the greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance becomes. Unfolds. The vast stretches of the unknown and unanswered, and the unfinished still strip out our collective comprehension. This country was conquered by those who move forward, and so will space. But why say the moon? And they may well ask why I climb the highest mountain. Those who came before us made certain that this country rode the first waves of industrial revolution, first wave of modern invention, the first wave of nuclear power. And this generation does not intend to flounder in the backwash of the coming age of space. We need to be a part of it. We need to be lead it. We set sail on this sea, new sea, because there is new knowledge to be gained and new rights to be won and used for the progress of all people. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Yes, I'm a Bostonian. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. People say to me, why do I start off with that speech? Because it's just as true today as it is back then. We are in decades of, hope and fear. Our ignorance is outslashed by our intelligence. We are losing grip on what is important, and we're starting to lose interest in what may be, what could be, what should be. Um, this speech is today we are plagued with violence and fear. We're flooded with hateful talk and division from all sides. There are those who building, want to remain blind to the doings by the used car salesperson talk. But we cannot, we must not. No, we will not let this be our driving force. We must look at the future as President Kennedy did. We are better than that. We are greater than that. and we can do anything we put our minds to. We must unite and say with one voice, enough is enough. We are the people. We are the future. Let us choose to follow what Kennedy had started, and do the things that should have been done all those many years ago. As President Kennedy said, we do this because we don't we do this not because it is easy, but because it is hard. The right things usually are hard. The important things are always hard. And the impossible is only that if we do not try. We have to think of greater things. We have to dream big and be able to achieve it. With hard work and endurance. However, we need a chance. We need the ability to achieve it. Yes, there is a new frontier out there, and we must go there. And we must join together and make it happen. For you and those who follow your example. But first, we need to fight for it. Ride my smoke. Yeah. We need to fight for it. We need to care for this planet. We need to make it safe for the future generations. We need to end fossil fuels and use every bit of our being to transform this nation to the leading edge of electric power. We need to lead the world in solar power, wind power, hydropower, and geothermal power. And whatever the next great thing is, we need to excel and outdo the rest of the world. This is my challenge to the people. And this decade is over, that this great nation that has always been great, always will be nearly carbon free. And as the first people on that, and as the first people on not only the moon, but Mars as well. Why? Because we can. We have done this in the past, and we can do it again. Yes, they will say we are divided, even lost. We can never do these things again. Let us prove them wrong. They said we couldn't beat the greatest military in the world during the Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783, and yet we won. They said that we would lose the war in 1812, and we won. They said that we would, that the Civil War, they said that we would lose the Civil War in 1861 to 1863, and our enemies thought that we had failed. We had failed as a country, but they were wrong. We were not defeated, and we became better for it. We united, and we became better for it. Spanish-American War, 1898, 1901. Well, we had already joined together, and they failed. Well, we won. First World War, 1917, 1918. They thought that we were just a joke. Wrong. We joined the fight, and we won. All the way up to the Second World War, 1941, 1945. Sneak attack by Pearl Harbor. We won. Not only did we beat the Japanese, we beat the Germans. Now we're better for it. Now they think they are part of our nations. Japan, Germany, England are all part of the NATO alliance. Our enemies are now our friends because they learned their lesson. Do not mess with the United States. It doesn't work out well for you. When they said after Kennedy died, we would never make it to the moon. But we did. And in the time frame he put forward. We can because we, the people, have never failed any task or trial put before us. For we were united as one then, and we will not now nor ever fail. For we are one of many. We can because we, the people, the united people of our great nation, and are the most intelligent, strongest, and bravest people in the world. And we will not be bullied. We will not be frightened. We will not be oppressed. We will no longer be held back, and we will no longer be told what we cannot do. We, the people, we, the united people, can do all this because we are one. We are united. We are many faces, many colors, many beliefs, many cultures, but we're all the united people. We can do anything we set our minds to. My name is Christopher McCarthy, and I'm going to be the President of the United States, and I am going to be your voice. And I will not, and I cannot tolerate your constitutional rights being violated. I cannot tolerate treason. I'm not talking about before Trump was elected. I'm talking about since he's been in office. Trump is guilty of treason and bribery, high crimes and misdemeanors. 4 articles and 1 amendment in the Constitution. Your right to vote has been unlawfully deterred. And 4 amendments of the Constitution. It states specifically they cannot deny you the right to vote on any reason. Doesn't say anywhere in there that you have to be registered to vote. I don't even know when that got started. Mostly because people wanted to have, a card to say that they're card carrying this, a card carrying that. My father was card carrying Democrats. I am none. I have never had any political party. I have voted for Republican and Democrat alike. I still, as a president, I am running under no political party at all. I don't want corporate America to pay my way. If they want to help, fine. Don't look for a helping hand, because it's not going to come. Don't think you're going to buy me. I can't be bought, bribed, blackmailed, or coerced. You can actually see, more of my videos on my Facebook account. Feel free to go there. What's happening in this country? We've been divided. We've been disparatized. We've been racists. We've been homophobics. We've been whatever the hell religious thing is. And it's all against the Constitution of the United States. Every bit of it that's been spoken to you by your president, by your Congress and Senate and governors, every mayor who spoke out against those things have violated your constitutional rights. Not only to the people that they're offending, but the people that are being led to offend. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your sexual preference is. I don't care what the color. I don't care if you're black, brown, yellow, red, white, pink with purple polka dots. You are the united people. We're united on one thing. We're in a hell of a disaster. This country is under attack. Not by any foreign country. Yes, we are by Russia, which is one of the treasonous things that President Trump has done. Gave aid and comfort to the enemy. An enemy is anybody who attacks this country. And when they come after us, with cyber warfare that is an act of war. And your president has been sucking up to them, and that's treason, high treason in time of war. I won't do that. If they want to play cyber warfare, we can play cyber warfare. I want rid of the nukes. Why? Because I don't want our children growing up with those damn world-ending freaking things anymore. I want the United States to make a stand. We have conventional weapons that can do just as much damage without the world-ending results. And we can decommission those. We can put a defensive shield up that can protect us. And we can retaliate with conventional weapons just as hard. I'm not saying get rid of them all at once. I'm saying at least a 10% reduction. We need to get away from fossil fuels. You don't think we should? What happened to Florida? What happened to Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, California, and Arizona is going to come and hit you too. That is a guarantee. 2 days yesterday, that report came out on climate change, and they said the disasters are not only going to stay, they're going to get worse until we get our heads out of our ass. We can do that. We have the technology. Fossil fuel companies don't want you to know that, because they want to gain as much money as they can on your suffering. My insurance went up 11%. Why? Because they had to pay for those millionaires and billionaires and those big corporations to be repaired. Because your house didn't get repaired. You, and the poorer sections, your businesses didn't get rebuilt. Your homes didn't get rebuilt. California is almost a disaster. We are being destroyed state by state. Destroyed state by state. It looks like a nuclear bomb went off in Florida, Puerto Rico, Texas, and all the southern states. California looks like a moonscape. 89 plus dead, 100 still missing. And our government is doing nothing except photo ops. President went there for photo ops, not to do anything else. He didn't lend a hand, he should have been. Now I'm calling out to everybody in this country, every man, woman, and child. We must join together and fight this new enemy. We either fight it and stand together and help one another, or face obliteration. And the rich and powerful don't care, because they'll step over your corpse like it's nothing. When they do away with all your rights, like they have, and you don't fight for them, it's a slap in the face to everything. You think when they told you that man that took a knee was a slap in our face? I served 17 years. I fought a war. That man did exactly what I wanted him to do, exercised his rights. Now, I wouldn't take a knee because it's just not in me. But he exercised his rights. Constitutional right to do that. Constitutional right to peaceful assembly. Constitutional rights to vent their displeasure with the government. Lawfully. Peacefully. Constitutional rights. You don't want to give it to them? Fine, and you don't get your rights. Works that way, people. Works that way. Take away one right. Freedom of religion is another right that was just taken away from you. You're going to get a right to freedom of religion. Think not? When they're done with the dirty little Muslims, well, who's next? Oh, that's right. Hebrew. And they shut up the synagogue under the orders of President Trump. Yeah, brown people, kill them. They're invading our country to destroy our country. This is what the man said. He was doing it under the influence of President Trump. All this is happening to him. We haven't had this much damn violence in any other president. Congress and Senate started this bigotry shit when Obama was elected. People think Obama was he was crap, he was trash. But let me tell you something. Trump took credit for jobs returning, and it was Obama who did that. Trump took credit for the economy turning around, and it was again Obama who did that. You have Obamacare because President Obama was there, and this son of a bitch is trying to take it from you. Go ahead. Keep denouncing Obama because he's black. Well, who cares? He was a good president. All your rights that he gave you, all those nice little things you got now, like a job, like medical, is because of him. Even though he went up against a stacked deck of white men who didn't like the idea that a black man became president. That's what it was all about. That's why they started that racial stuff. Because it started right then. Because they started it by saying they would never pass a law with him. They will make him a one-term president. Not because he was a Democrat, but because he was black. It was a pure and simple racism. And our own government, which is against the Constitution, they broke constitutional law. And by rights should be impeached, which they can be. The justice of peace know better. But they did it anyway. Supreme Court broke constitutional law when they said Citizens United was a person. Constitution specifically says a U.S. citizen in a state, a person, an individual, not Citizens United. This cycle, they spent over $5 billion of corporate money to make sure your rights were taken, and they got away with murder. And your elected officials are going along with it. Don't listen to what they're telling you they're going to do, because none of them do it. None of them. Don't trust me. Look it up. Don't believe me. I want you to read the Constitution, your Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, because what I'm about to tell you next is going to, fry your ears. Because I want you to look this up too. On that. Hey, I'm human. I don't want to have my coffee. Get over it. A projected budget to 2026. No more education. It's gone. So your schools are all going to close. All your schools will be closing because there's no more education. Medicaid, Medicare is gone, so most of your hospitals will be shutting down. You'll have to do like us veterans and drive 300 miles to the nearest hospital. And you better have cash in pocket. Because your insurance is going to skyrocket because they're going to be the only game in town and they can get away with it. Law enforcement's gone. So, when people start getting really desperate and they start running around shooting up stores and shooting up people, robbing people, you got to walk down the street with an AK-47, just like the third New Worlds, just to keep yourself half-ass safe. And that's not even a guarantee, because if you don't know how to use that weapon, you might as well stick it up your butt, because it's probably where it's going to wind up. No more fire. Most of your fire stations will close because federal funds are going to dry up. So your house will burn down. Your community is going to burn down because there's no fire department to put it out, no fire department to stop it. No hospital. They're all being closed. And you're going to be paying, and they got you really screwed there, because that tax code really played a real sneaky thing. They have payroll tax and individual tax. And if you're not making $1 million a year, you're going to be paying both of them. 15.8% tax. 15.8% tax. Don't want you to believe me. Look it up for yourself. Don't believe me about all this stuff going away. Look it up yourself. Social Security's gone. Me and my brother had a big argument about that yesterday. Thanksgiving. Yeah, yesterday. About that's what's happening. And he said, no, they can't. And I said, yes, they did. That's why that tax code was 1,500 pages long. To screw you out of everything that belongs to you. And you get to pay the tax. My friends, that's called taxation without representation. Look it up in the Declaration of Independence. That's why I said, once you read all of them. General welfare of the people. It's the beginning of that tranquility and general welfare of the people. That's the beginning opening of the Constitution. You know, protection. Security. It's all in the opening. And that's gone. That's gone. That whole part of the Constitution just went away because they snuck a tax code through and you didn't know it. Right to prosper. Education's gone. All gone away. So you can't prosper. How are you going to prosper if you can't get an education? They don't want you to have an education because then they can do even more damage to you. Because the more, like Trump says, he likes stupid people. He wants to make you ignorant, illiterate. That's what he's trying to do, make you illiterate, so you cannot read the Constitution. Because if you catch them now, if everybody goes out there and they read the Constitution, they read the Bill of Rights, and they read the Declaration of Independence, I guarantee every damn one of you would stop saying, I am not a freaking Republican anymore, and I'm not a Democrat anymore. Because I'll be damned, my party's been screwing me. You don't have to. No one can deny you the right to vote. Constitution says two things. You got to be a U.S. citizen and you got to vote in your state. That's all it says in 4 amendments. 4 amendments. And it says absolutely, positively, no local, state, or federal organization can take that right from you. That's fact. What about illegal immigrants voting? They're not freaking U.S. citizens. What about the immigrants? Well, let's talk about the immigrants coming across the border. Going to build a $150 billion wall and not a penny to repair your homes. Not a penny to rebuild our infrastructure. Not a penny. But we're going to build a wall. A wall is freaking useless. Look, history's proven walls don't work. Why did the Russians tore down the one in East Germany? It didn't freaking work. They caused their whole economy to collapse. That's what's going to happen here. Our economy is going to collapse because now we're going to have to man them. And if you think it's going to stop there, I guarantee you he's going to start talking about putting freaking guard towers up, razor wire, shoot to kill anybody. Only it'll be you trying to escape from here. Same thing happened in East Germany. Everything that's happening now is because we don't forgot history. Nobody wants to realize what happened in history. See, I looked in history when it comes to military because I wanted to learn from the best in tactics, which is why I learned tactics so well. But the same things happened here. It started in 1933. By 1939, the country was under the rule of a man you couldn't talk out against. You couldn't speak up against. A man that doesn't matter. You're not a German. You're not shit. Adolf Hitler. Yeah. That's the same way. He stopped the presses. He stopped all of it. All the rights that people had were gone. The Constitution was torn up. He was de facto emperor. You talk about him, you go to the freaking prison camps. Think we don't have them here? We have prison camps. You want to worry about an immigrant? I'm worried about freaking cartels. You want to worry about, Muslims? I'm worried about terrorists, not just Muslims. So, a man walks into a church, open fire. That's terrorist. And he was white. Another man sat in a freaking hotel and shot the shit out of Los Angeles. That is a terrorist. 99% of all terrorists, all massive attacks that have been happening in this country since 9/11 have been done by white males. Oh, believe me, look it up. Mass shootings are now, we had at least one shooting a day, every day this year. And now, the other day, it bumped up to 2 mass shootings a day. And now, there was a mass shooting in a store over some stupid piece of merchandise that really freaking is insane that you would shoot to kill people over. People, gun control's got to be a thing. Protects you, protects them. Don't think so. I know people in prison who bought a firearm from somebody who was involved in crime. Now, they didn't do the crime, but they had the firearm, and it was a murder. They went to prison for it. They had a firearm. They had the weapon. No way they could prove otherwise. You can go to jail for having a stolen weapon, a weapon that was stolen. You can go to jail to fire. It's a federal offense if you get caught with a weapon with a serial number filed off. Beware, you see a weapon with a serial number filed off, there's usually a bad thing behind it. There's a bad story of that. You sell your weapon to somebody, it's registered to you. You don't get a bill, you don't go through background with this guy to get that thing taken off your name and put on another. You're held responsible because if he drops that firearm in the midst of a freaking robbery or a murder, you are the one who's going to prison because it's your gun. That's just your own personal thing. I'm saying this now because I said this on Facebook. When children have to get together and protest, peaceful assembly to air their grievances to their elected officials, and by the way, the Constitution gives them that right. When you go after them with weapons in hand, you're insurrection now. Because when you go after them against their constitutional rights, that's called an armed insurrection, and that is grounds for an act of war. And you can be arrested, and that is a hell of a long time in prison. And you will never, ever, ever see your firearm again. Because if I'm president, you pull that shit, I will turn around, I will send federal troops in to snatch your ass up. You will be brought into custody as an armed insurrection. Because you went after them. Constitution says that. Read it. It's in the first article of the Constitution and one amendment. It's called armed insurrection. Actually, I think it's the 2 amendments in the Constitution. Armed insurrection. Anytime somebody uses an armed militia to go against the federal, go against the United States and the Constitution, it's armed insurrection. You are guilty of armed insurrection. People, the Second Amendment was made in 1791. And I just read you dates. We were still fighting the British back then. We're still living out there in small rural communities, in the wilderness. And people had flintlocks. And they had to have militants. They had to have militia. Because, if you got, the British coming at you, one flintlock, not so good. You get, everybody would have, there was a central location. It was organized militia. And they would battle. Because you're not going to beat a whole bunch of freaking British with a single musket. Not happening. So that's why that was there. You don't have to have an armed militia now. We got an armed militia. It's called the National Guard. It's now illegal to have any militia because you're not organized. I don't give a shit if you think you're organized. If you're a militia, you are not an organized militia. That is run by whoever is the governor. The governor has the National Guard, and those are organized militia. You turn around and act like a militia, and that is again, be fair. That is again subversive acts, armed insurrection against the United States government. If you create your own militia, now it's armed insurrection against the government of the United States. I bet. Try it. Look it up. Read it. Because you're not an organized, militia. See, we got the National Guard now, so you can't get away with that crap. So you skinheads, you neo-Nazis, you fuckers who want to spill hate, that is not considered peaceful assembly. It's no. Gotta read that Constitution. It says peaceful assembly to air your grievances, not spread hate. You don't have that constitutional right. I want to make sure you don't get that right. That's right. You're not going to get that right with it because you don't have the right. If you don't have, if you got a psychological problem, you shouldn't have a weapon. Guy that shot that Marine, he had a 45, shot that bar. He shouldn't have that weapon. He had it legally. When he had a psychotic break, that weapon should have been confiscated, and I don't know why it wasn't. Doesn't make any sense. I don't blame the police. They probably didn't even know he had one because they don't inform he's got a firearm. Hell, they could have been shot up. Oh, I'm just glad they weren't. They don't know it. They don't know it. We need to have some kind of organized gun control that the police are informed when they're going into a residence how many weapons that they have weapons, how many and what kind, so they can at least be safe. I don't give a shit about your freaking rights when you got a freaking officers being killed. You got a madman with a gun. You surrendered those rights when you disobeyed what should be done. Remember the beginning of the Constitution, I told you that tranquility and general welfare, security of the people. If you have a psychological problem, you shouldn't have a fire. That you would endanger yourself or others, you shouldn't have a fire. If you are a violent offender, you should have a firearm. If you're a gangbanger, you shouldn't have a firearm. If you've been kicked out of the military for disciplinary reasons, you shouldn't have a firearm. If you are prior military, you have a psychotic break, please turn your weapon in. You shouldn't have it. You know it, I know it. You shouldn't have a weapon. Neo-Nazis who freaking want to turn around and cause harm to others, threatening to cause harm or inciting to cause harm to others, shouldn't have weapons. A man running down a freaking road with a freaking armored vehicle and a 50 caliber machine gun, what the hell over? No 50 calibers. If you're not military, if you're not in that, if that is a military weapon and it should never be sold anywhere or owned by anyone but the military. That freaking thing can kill people from freaking 5 miles away and then go down another couple miles and still keep people you weren't shooting at. That's a dangerous freaking weapon. And it's a machine gun. What the hell are you going to shoot with that? You can't give me any excuse you need that for freaking self-defense or freaking hunting. What the hell are you going to do? You can't even freaking hunt you can't even hunt a rhino or an elephant with that damn thing. What are you going to use that for? You don't need it. We got a militia. You want to freaking play with a 50 caliber machine gun? Join the military. If you want to defend this country and use a 50 caliber machine, get in the fucking military. A 50 caliber sniper rifle was in, oh my God, I mean, where I buy my weapons, they had a 50 caliber sniper rifle. I said, Jesus, that's the same damn thing I was trained in. He said, yeah, it's military. It's a military issue type. It's identical to the military. I said, what the hell are you doing? He said, we can sell it. He said, you can buy it. And you have the clearance. What the hell am I going to do with a 50 caliber sniper rifle? Shit, I can't hunt with it. I mean, what am I going to do with something that big? The only reason I have something like that is I'm going to do something bad. Why would I need a 50 caliber sniper rifle? I know what that little thing will do. I train on them. They'll go to a freaking, armored vehicle and kill everybody inside, and go right on out the other side. I know what that thing will do. When you talk about reaching out to something long distance, you could be in freaking next state and still kill somebody. Well, okay. Some states. What the hell is that doing on the freaking public? Nobody should have owned something like that. Unless it's decommissioned. It means that cannot be fired. You want to own something like that and it's freaking plugged, it's got burn holes through it, can't be fired, that's fine. But that thing was an active 50 caliber sniper rifle. That was an active 50 caliber machine gun, M2 freaking Bradleys, that Ma Deuce. Everybody out there who knows, ever been in the military, you know what the freaking Ma Deuce will do. They're going down to that border. What are they going to do? They open fire with that thing. You can guarantee when 3 or 4 passes, you're going to see thousands dead. Literally cut to pieces. Men, women, children, infants. Chopped to pieces. Because that's what that damn thing does. It leaves, it tears you right in freaking two. It is not. It round is like 2 of my thumb scale, just like that. That fucking big. That's how big that round is. And it's about that long. What the hell? Bump stops, automatic weapons. Why? What are you going to shoot with? I mean, you got a 30-round clip. You open that thing up in automatic fire, and it's going to go, and it's 30 rounds have gone down range. If you're shooting at something, you got a bump stock, and you're trying to shoot an animal, and hunt. Forget it. That animal's been chopped to pieces. There's more holes through that freaking thing. They let it be like a sieve. You wouldn't be able to eat any of the damn meat because it'd be full of freaking, fragments. Because when a freaking 5.56 hits you, it can go through your freaking head and come out your damn tongue. It can go in and freaking shatter and go in different directions. That's what 5.56 would do. If you're shooting a single, a semi, even in the military, I never used automatic fire. I never did. None of my men were allowed to put their weapons on automatic. If I heard them putting it from rock and roll, I'd knock them right off the freaking feet. The only time I ever thought about rock and roll was I was in a dark place. Okay, I was in a really dark place. So we shouldn't have automatic weapons. There's no need to it. Like I said, what are you gonna do? You can't hunt with a freaking automatic weapon. You have no idea how fast 30 rounds will freaking empty out of that firearm. Trust me. It's gone. Mac 10. Yeah, okay. You get a Mac 10, 9 times out of 10, they freaking check. Mac 10 will jam again and again. They're really bad. They got no sense, no use. I don't know what the freaking. What are you going to do? Freaking. Can't shoot freaking elephant with these damn things. Can't shoot a freaking rhino with these things. Well, first of all, a freaking elephant or rhino, you're just going to piss them off. They're going to beat you to death with it. But you can't go hunting with them. I mean, you can't use them for hunting. An AR-15 is a military style weapon. I don't think any civilian should have them. But, if you're going to have them, they cannot be modified to automatic. Ever. No weapon can be. I don't want anything coming into this country that can be sold that can modify any weapon to automatic fire. I mean, it makes no sense. See, in the military, we're out there. I got 180 rounds. My driver's got 180 miles. We're 300 miles north of freaking U.S. troops. We got to freaking make sure every round we have counts because that's all we got. We're not going to get any more. We got no backup coming. So you got to think about that. You got 30-round magazines. What the hell are you thinking? You know, people like me, with a military background, we're ready to freaking go. If you're a veteran, you could be recalled any day. You can be called any time. I'd rather have a weapon I know I've trained with than have something shoved in my freaking hand at the last minute and say, hey, go there. Because we can be recalled. You don't think so? Look, check it. Ask the VA. I was in a group talking, and one of the guys says, "Well, at least he can't be recalled." I said, "Yes, you can." And he looks at me and says, "What?" I looked at the counselor. I said, "Want to tell him?" Counselor like this. Tell him. Yes, as long as you're in the VA system, you can be recalled. Anybody in the VA system can be recalled. Sucks to be us. Look, you need to control weapons. Okay, there's got to be we got to have we got to have a freaking control of some kind. Because if we don't, mass shootings every day, now twice a day. What's it going to take? Safest town in the freaking country. Mass shooting. Safest town in the country. No one ever thought it could possibly happen there. It did. It did. Storms. Not my problem. Won't happen here. Yeah, well, wait. Time's coming. 360 something freaking, mass shootings. 340, 350 mass shootings. This one a day, soon as going to get around to you. Coming to a synagogue, a mosque, or a church near you. Coming to a bar near you. Coming to school near you. So think that it won't happen, and I will freaking guarantee you it will. I'll guarantee you it's going to. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Think that storm, the fire, not going to get you. It will. It's like I said, all these equal opportunities. Don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. Don't care your color. Don't care your religion. Don't care your sexual preference. Don't care about your gender. It's equal opportunity. Until you start getting that through your freaking heads, it's going to keep on doing it. Stop voting for people who don't give a damn. Start looking at the Constitution. Read the Constitution, not the parts you want, the whole thing. Read all the Constitution, all the articles of the Constitution. Read all of the amendments of the Bill of Rights. And read the freaking Declaration of Independence. Then check me. I'm not saying believe me. I'm saying check and see if what I've said is not true. To include the budget. Go ahead. You can look it up. I'm not telling you to believe it. I'm saying read it. I want to be fact checked. I like being fact checked. I like being questioned. I like people to question. I like criticisms. Hell, on my Facebook, I got criticized a couple times. One turned around and said, "You're an idiot, but at least you're a consistent idiot." I said, "Yeah, well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, I guess." Yeah, I caught myself worse than that. And better people call me worse. Ones who have real guns call me bad things. Countries call me bad things. It's hey, you're the enemy. I like to raise hell. Look, input. I've had people who came up with really good ideas. Immigration reform. Guy said, "Well, first you see is if they want to be a citizen. They won't. They don't want to. It's a hell of an idea. You don't want to be a citizen. Goodbye. But if you're serving this country in Afghanistan, you have proven your loyalty. You have proven you want to be a citizen. You and your family should automatically be citizens. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You don't grab that man's family and kick him out into freaking Mexico. Because you're a freaking asshole, Trump. You're a coward. and a bigot, and a gutless wonder. If you're not, then debate me, you son of so-and-so. I want you to debate me. Because I'm going to prove just what kind of an asshole you are. I'm going to prove what kind of a traitor you are. Don't believe me? Read it. Read it. Read the Constitution, and it will specifically spell out what he's done. In 4 articles, 1 amendment, how many times he's committed treason, how many times he's been taking bribery. When he turned around and was talking about North Korea, oh man, they got that beautiful beach. I can put a hotel on. Oh, all of a sudden we get this missile deal. Oh, by the way, yeah, it appears that we're the ones that got, had to back down and stop our joint exercises. Meanwhile, Rocket Man, as he would put it, is still building missiles. Well, let me tell you something, Kim, John. If you don't get rid of them, we will. And we're going to get with China. So don't look for them to help. You stop playing games. We're gonna destroy all your fucking missiles. We don't have to blow your freaking capital up. We're gonna destroy your missiles. You want to fight with us? You're gonna get your freaking wish. And we're not going to be gentle because we're gonna have the UN behind us too. And that means every freaking country. Russia, you want to keep fucking with our damn, you want to keep attacking us with freaking cyber warfare? We will too. And spades. And I know by now, by the time I get elected, you're going to know who I am. You know I don't play that freaking, I don't say things in jest. When I say there's a line in the sand, you better not put that freaking toe over it. I'll cut it off. I don't jest. I don't bluff. It is a fact. You keep attacking us, we will retaliate in kind. You want to keep building rockets and missiles, we will take them out because we don't want any more nuclear weapons. And we've got enough freaking problems with other countries that got them. Pakistan, India, you too. We got to come to the freaking table. We got to stack. China, I know you don't want these damn things. I know you'd like to get rid of them. Russia, you either get on the freaking bandwagon, and you try to freaking pull that, a nuclear, card with us. Say goodbye to Moscow. But we got weapons that freaking turn into nothing but black glass, and it doesn't leave no radiation behind. Don't play with us. We don't play. I don't just. I don't freaking. See, I know what I was an asshole. You don't. Well, you might think you do, but I've seen our weapons in action. Let me tell you, they're pretty freaking awesome. Go hide in your bunkers. Go hide in your bunkers. We got freaking missiles that'll chase you right down a freaking rabbit hole. Went out of Afghanistan. Almost 18 freaking years. Be over 18 years when I get in office. Freaking. And they've got a freaking effective military. Look, I have a plan, and I'm going to get together with our special ops people, all of them, and they're all going to work together to do a freaking nasty 12-month campaign. And I'm going to tell you, they're not going to want to play those games anymore because once we show them that that's not a good idea, then we're going to leave them. I'm going to tell them, you know what? Do not piss with the United States. You do. We're going to come after your country of origin. It goes for you, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, we know that you were main ones. 19 of those guys came from your country, and they were backed by your country. I lived there for 13 months, buddy. Don't turn around and try to lie to me, because I hear the freaking talk you did in schools, teaching them to hate the infidel Americans. Oh, yeah. I heard it. I heard what you said in English. Yeah, and I understood what you were saying in Arabic. Don't play a game with me, Your Highness. I don't play that game. You killed one of our troops. You killed one of our citizens. We want accountability. I don't give a damn. I'll cut off your supply of freaking arms permanently. I want it anyway because you're freaking killing a bunch of people who can't defend themselves. Who gives a shit? Because they want water. You have never been our friends. You have been responsible for most 95% of all attacks came from Arabia. None of them came from Iran. Not a one. Nobody from Iran came here. It was all Saudi nationals. And when we traced the money back, it came from your freaking, let's get this straight, came from the royals. Yeah, I know about that. I know all about that. Maybe you don't like it, but I know about that. Anyway, that's enough of me ranting and raving tonight. I don't see anybody watching. So it's been 55 minutes. And I'll be back on again tomorrow. And I hope that I start getting people to come on. So I'm going to end this here. How do I stop this? That's not what I want. I don't want that. Oh. Okay. Frack. Okay, now I don't know how to turn this on. I got it turned on. I don't know how to shut it off. This is. Oh.